Reverse psychology is a manipulation method that leverages the contradiction between behavior and true desires to encourage a person to act in a certain way. At first glance, this approach might seem paradoxical. It suggests that when you try to make someone do something, you instead tell them not to do it. On the other hand, when a person faces rejection or resistance, it triggers their desire to prove they can achieve what was denied. The psychology behind this response is explained by the fact that people often try to avoid loss, whether it's status, resources, opportunities, or simply attention. When we tell someone they can't achieve something or they are unworthy of something, it generates internal anxiety, which motivates them to work harder to prove the opposite. This effect is particularly strong in social and personal contexts, where rejection is perceived as a threat to one's self-esteem or sense of belonging. 1.1. Explaining reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is a manipulation tool that suggests we can influence someone's behavior by intentionally denying them something we actually want them to do. The main principle here is that rejection stimulates a desire to obtain what was denied. This phenomenon can be observed everywhere, from relationships between people to marketing strategies, social networks, and advertising campaigns. An example of reverse psychology might be a situation where someone tells another person they can't accomplish a certain task or expresses doubt about their abilities. This approach causes the other person to feel internal tension and a need to prove their worth. This mechanism is also used, for example, in parenting, where a parent intentionally limits access to something to spark the child's interest. 1.2. The role of rejection in reverse psychology. Rejection is one of the most powerful tools in reverse psychology. When we deny someone something, it makes them feel excluded, isolated, but it also motivates them to work harder to get what they want. The reason is that people tend to act with greater energy when they feel that their desire is under threat of disappearing. This is called the scarcity effect. The less accessible something becomes, the stronger the person's desire to obtain it. For rejection to work in your favor, it's important to consider several factors. First, it should be delivered with confidence. People are much more likely to act against what is denied to them when this denial is perceived as significant and meaningful. Second, the rejection should not be final. If you completely deny someone, it may cause disappointment rather than a desire to improve. However, if the rejection is framed as a challenge, it becomes a motivational tool. 1.3. A real-life example. Relationships between people are often a field for applying reverse psychology. For instance, in romantic relationships, when one partner withdraws their attention or approval, it can create space for the other partner to step up their efforts and become more attractive. Imagine a situation where one person starts distancing themselves from the other, ignoring their calls or messages, thereby rejecting communication. This may cause the person to begin acting more persistently to regain attention, ultimately leading them to take more decisive actions. 1.4. Reverse psychology in marketing. Many successful marketing strategies also use principles of reverse psychology and rejection. Examples include limited time offers, discounted products, but only within a certain period, and products that are running out. Creating a sense of scarcity in consumers' minds where a product or service may soon disappear encourages them to make a purchase quickly, without overthinking. The more limited a product or service is, the stronger the desire to get it as soon as possible. This strategy uses both psychological manipulation of scarcity and rejection to drive action. 1.5. Group psychology and leadership. The theme of rejection and reverse psychology is also crucial in group dynamics and leadership. When a leader in a group or team limits resources or access to something, they can stimulate competition among members, pushing them to work harder. This approach helps identify leaders, the most productive participants, and those willing to work for the result. An example is a sports coach who doesn't put players in the starting lineup, even if they perform well in training. This provokes other players to work harder, which may ultimately lead to an improvement in the team's overall result. In this situation, rejecting the opportunity to play becomes not a punishment, but a catalyst for motivation. 1.6. Rejection and manipulation in personal relationships complex. Personal relationships are also often built around dynamics of rejection and acceptance. People frequently use psychological manipulation to attract attention or achieve specific behaviors. One of the most common examples is manipulation through withholding attention, where a person intentionally ignores the other to prompt them to put more effort into regaining that attention. In such situations, it's important to remember that this method works only if there is some level of connection or interest between the people involved. Otherwise, rejection may cause irritation, not a desire to work on the relationship. 1.7. Conclusion. Reverse psychology and rejection are powerful tools that can be applied in various contexts. When you reject something, it not only creates the scarcity effect, but also presents a challenge that pushes a person or a group of people to work harder to overcome the barrier. It's important that rejection isn't seen as a final decision, but rather as a tool to stimulate growth and change. Using rejection to motivate and achieve the desired result is an art that requires attention and the ability to understand the psychological traits of people. It's essential to remember that effective use of reverse psychology always requires careful assessment of the situation and understanding how your rejection will be perceived. Rejection is often perceived as a negative experience. It can trigger feelings of frustration, sadness, and even anger. However, this emotional response can be a powerful motivator. When faced with rejection, people often experience a surge of motivation to prove themselves. This desire to overcome rejection is rooted in our psychological need for validation and acceptance. We want to feel valued and capable, and when we are denied something, it sparks an intense drive to show that we are worthy. The psychological principle behind this reaction is called reactance. When people feel that their freedom to choose or achieve something is being restricted, they tend to rebel against the restriction. This leads them to intensify their efforts to prove that they can achieve what was denied to them. Reactance can manifest in various forms, from working harder to achieve a goal, to seeking alternative ways to gain what was originally refused. 2.1. The role of ego and self-esteem in rejection. One of the key factors that make rejection so impactful is its effect on a person's self-esteem. Humans have a natural desire to be seen in a positive light by others. Rejection challenges this desire, making individuals feel unworthy or inadequate. This feeling can be painful, but it also has a flip side: the need to restore one's self-esteem. People often use rejection as a catalyst to improve themselves or prove their value. When someone faces rejection, they may feel like they need to bounce back stronger than before. This recovery process can be highly motivating, especially if the individual internalizes the rejection as a challenge. The feeling of needing to repair one's self-esteem leads to heightened efforts to succeed, and this can result in impressive personal growth and achievement. For example, someone who is rejected for a job may take that rejection as a cue to refine their skills and qualifications, leading them to work harder and eventually land an even better opportunity. 2.2. Rejection as a catalyst for innovation and growth. Rejection is often the turning point in a person's life that pushes them to innovate and adapt. It forces individuals to step outside their comfort zone and reconsider their approaches to problems. This process of reevaluating and reinventing oneself can lead to unexpected breakthroughs in personal development. When faced with rejection, people often find creative solutions to overcome obstacles. This process of innovation is not just about coming up with new ideas, but about adjusting to adversity in a way that fosters personal growth. Many successful entrepreneurs and innovators have faced rejection multiple times before they found success. Their ability to use rejection as a stepping stone rather than an obstacle played a crucial role in their achievements. For example, Thomas Edison faced rejection and failure countless times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure taught him something new, pushing him closer to his ultimate success. His ability to view rejection as an opportunity for growth rather than a setback is a key factor in his success. 2.3. The impact of rejection on relationships. Rejection doesn't just apply to professional or creative endeavors. It can also significantly affect personal relationships. In many cases, rejection in relationships can act as a motivator to improve oneself or prove one's worthiness. When someone is rejected by a romantic partner or a close friend, they may experience a sense of loss or hurt. However, this emotional pain can drive them to grow and become a better partner or friend in the future. People who have been rejected in relationships often learn important lessons about themselves. They may discover what qualities they need to improve, what boundaries they need to set, or how to better communicate with others. In some cases, rejection can also prompt individuals to re-examine their own values and desires, leading them to attract healthier and more fulfilling relationships. While rejection in relationships can be painful, it can also create opportunities for self-reflection and growth. The experience of being rejected can teach valuable lessons that ultimately contribute to stronger, more successful future relationships. The power of overcoming rejection in social contexts. Rejection in social situations, whether in the form of exclusion from a group, rejection of ideas, or simply being ignored, can have a significant impact on one's behavior. However, this kind of rejection can also fuel a desire to be seen, heard, and valued. Social rejection often sparks a competitive spirit, leading individuals to push harder to prove their worth to others. In some cases, social rejection can even motivate individuals to stand out by developing unique skills or pursuing passions that make them more interesting or attractive. The desire to be accepted by a particular social group can lead to self-improvement in areas such as communication, leadership, or creativity. In this way, rejection acts as a catalyst for personal growth and achievement. For example, someone who is excluded from a social group may work harder to develop skills that make them more appealing to that group. Whether through improving their talents or refining their social skills, the individual may ultimately gain a stronger sense of identity and confidence. 2.5. Rejection as fuel for success in the workplace. In the workplace, rejection is often inevitable. Whether it's being passed over for a promotion, rejected for a job application, or facing criticism from a superior, these experiences can be disheartening. However, rejection in the workplace can also serve as a driving force for success. Many high-achieving individuals have used rejection as an opportunity to reassess their approach, improve their skills, and ultimately succeed. A person who faces rejection at work might take the opportunity to learn new skills, expand their network, or improve their performance. They may seek feedback and take steps to address their weaknesses, turning rejection into an opportunity for growth. In this way, rejection can fuel a desire to excel and rise above previous limitations. For example, someone who was rejected for a promotion may decide to take on additional responsibilities or pursue further education to increase their qualifications. This commitment to improvement can eventually lead to success in the form of a better role or career advancement. 2.6. Rejection in sports, a source of motivation. In sports, rejection is an inherent part of the journey. Athletes face rejection from teams, coaches, and even fans at different points in their careers. This rejection can be devastating, but it often serves as a source of motivation to push harder and prove the doubters wrong. Many athletes use rejection as fuel for their performance, transforming frustration into determination. Athletes who are rejected by a team or fail to achieve a desired outcome often respond by training harder, refining their technique, or working on their mental toughness. They see rejection not as a sign of defeat, but as an opportunity to become stronger and more resilient. An example of this can be seen in the career of Michael Jordan, who was famously cut from his high school basketball team. Rather than letting this rejection discourage him, he used it as motivation to work tirelessly on his skills, ultimately becoming one of the greatest basketball players of all time. 2.7. Conclusion: harnessing the power of rejection. Rejection, while painful, can serve as a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. It triggers a desire to succeed and can fuel innovation, self-improvement, and resilience. By embracing rejection as a challenge rather than a setback, individuals can use it as a springboard to greater success. Whether in relationships, work, or personal goals, rejection can be the catalyst for profound change and achievement. Ultimately, the key to using rejection effectively is to shift one's mindset. Rather than viewing rejection as a failure, we can choose to see it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and become better. By doing so, we can transform what might seem like a negative experience into a powerful motivator for success. Rejection can be painful, but it plays a vital role in building emotional resilience. Resilience refers to the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to adversity, and continue pursuing goals despite challenges. Facing rejection helps individuals build mental toughness necessary for handling life's difficulties. By learning to cope with rejection, people develop a stronger sense of self and the ability to overcome future obstacles. Initially, rejection may trigger hurt or disappointment, but those who process these emotions and move forward build resilience. They become better equipped to handle future rejection and other life challenges, becoming more adaptive and capable of managing stress. 3.1. The psychological benefits of resilience. Resilience enables people to persevere through tough times. One psychological benefit is increased self-confidence. When someone experiences rejection and recovers emotionally, they realize they can bounce back, boosting their sense of self-efficacy. The belief in one's ability to achieve goals despite setbacks. This confidence is crucial in both personal and professional life. Resilient individuals see rejection as a challenge to overcome, not a permanent roadblock. This mindset allows them to maintain a positive outlook and continue pursuing goals, even when things don't go as planned. 3.2. Rejection and the growth mindset. Adopting a growth mindset is an effective way to deal with rejection. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. People with this mindset view rejection as an opportunity to learn and improve, rather than a sign of inadequacy. Rejection becomes a tool for self-improvement. For instance, a rejected job applicant may seek feedback on their interview performance to improve for future applications. With a growth mindset, rejection isn't a reason to give up, it's a chance to grow. 3.3. The role of failure in building strength. Like rejection, failure is often seen negatively, but both are integral to growth. Failure often serves as a step toward success. Many successful individuals have experienced significant failures before achieving their goals. The key is to learn from failure and use those lessons to improve. In sports, athletes fail repeatedly before reaching their potential. A basketball player may miss many shots, but each miss refines their technique. Entrepreneurs who face business failure can learn from it and apply those lessons to future ventures. The ability to bounce back from failure is essential for building resilience. 3.4. How rejection strengthens mental toughness. Rejection serves as a test for mental toughness, which is the ability to stay focused, motivated, and positive in the face of challenges. It involves developing strength to persist through obstacles. Rejection forces individuals to confront their vulnerabilities and develop coping strategies to enhance their mental toughness. By learning to handle rejection, they build emotional strength and become more resilient, making it easier to handle future setbacks. For instance, a writer repeatedly rejected by publishers can refine their work and learn not to view failure as personal defeat. 3.5. Building resilience through social support. While resilience is individual, social support plays a key role in its development. A supportive network of friends, family, or colleagues helps individuals cope with the emotional effects of rejection. This support provides reassurance, encouragement, and perspective, helping people move forward after rejection. Talking to a mentor or close friend about rejection can provide emotional relief and offer new viewpoints. In professional settings, mentors can provide valuable advice, helping individuals understand that rejection is part of the learning process and encouraging them to stay focused on their long-term goals. 3.6. The role of rejection in developing emotional intelligence. Rejection also fosters the development of emotional intelligence, EQ, which involves understanding, managing, and using emotions constructively. Rejection forces individuals to process complex emotions like disappointment and frustration, offering a chance to develop emotional regulation skills. By reflecting on their emotional responses, people can gain a deeper understanding of their emotional triggers. Someone who reacts with anger after being rejected may learn to identify this emotion and regulate it. Over time, managing emotions during rejection leads to greater emotional intelligence. Rejection is not only a personal challenge, it can also provide opportunities to improve your social skills. Interpersonal relationships are essential in both personal and professional life, and rejection often forces individuals to reassess how they communicate and interact with others. Through these experiences, you can refine your social skills, such as empathy, communication, and emotional intelligence. When rejected, individuals are often prompted to reflect on their actions, behaviors, and communication styles. Rejection forces us to look inward and consider how we might have contributed to the situation, which can be incredibly valuable for personal growth. This introspection helps individuals understand how they come across to others and how they can improve their social interactions. 4.1. Improving communication through rejection. One of the key social skills that can be enhanced through rejection is communication. Rejection often arises from miscommunication or misunderstandings, and addressing these can help improve how you express yourself. For example, in a social setting, if a person feels rejected, they might analyze how they conveyed their thoughts or intentions. If they learn that their words were misinterpreted, they can adjust their communication style for future interactions. Effective communication goes beyond just speaking clearly. It involves active listening, being attuned to nonverbal cues, and responding appropriately. By facing rejection, individuals may realize the importance of these elements in successful communication. They become more aware of the way they interact with others, leading to better relationships and smoother social exchanges in the future. 4.2. Empathy as a tool for growth. Empathy is another social skill that can be strengthened through the experience of rejection. When we face rejection, we often feel hurt, frustrated, or confused, but this emotional experience can help us develop a deeper understanding of others' emotions. Recognizing that everyone experiences rejection at some point helps us relate to others on a more human level, fostering empathy. For instance, someone who has been rejected in a romantic context might develop a greater sense of empathy when seeing others in similar situations. By understanding the emotional impact of rejection, individuals become more compassionate and considerate toward others who are going through difficult times. This enhanced empathy improves relationships, making interactions more genuine and supportive. 4.3. Rejection as a catalyst for strengthening boundaries. Rejection can also teach valuable lessons about setting and respecting boundaries. When you face rejection, it can serve as a signal that your boundaries or those of others were not respected. For instance, in a social situation, if someone rejects your offer or request, it might be an indication that the person has different needs or expectations. By reflecting on these experiences, you can learn to set clearer and more respectful boundaries in the future. Understanding where your personal boundaries lie and respecting those of others helps build stronger, more harmonious relationships. Rejection teaches you the importance of mutual respect in interactions, which is essential for maintaining healthy social dynamics. 4.4. Learning from social rejection in romantic relationships. Rejection is particularly common in romantic relationships, and it plays an important role in developing social and emotional intelligence. Romantic rejection, whether from a potential partner or in the context of an established relationship, provides valuable lessons in managing expectations, understanding others' needs, and improving communication. People who experience romantic rejection often learn the importance of emotional vulnerability and resilience. They come to understand that rejection is not always a reflection of their worth, but rather a natural part of dating and relationships. By processing these emotions, individuals can approach future relationships with greater self-assurance and clarity about what they want. Furthermore, romantic rejection can improve self-awareness. It often prompts individuals to reflect on the qualities they are seeking in a partner and what they value in a relationship. This self-reflection can lead to a stronger sense of personal identity, which is vital for building healthier, more fulfilling connections in the future. 4.5. Building self-worth through social experiences. Social rejection is a test of self-worth. It can cause feelings of insecurity and doubt, but it also provides an opportunity to build a stronger, more resilient sense of self. The key to overcoming rejection and maintaining a healthy self-worth is understanding that rejection is often not about personal failure, but rather about compatibility and timing. For example, being rejected for a job might initially feel like a personal failure, but the experience can also highlight areas for growth. It is an opportunity to reassess your skills and approach. Similarly, rejection in friendships or social settings can lead to deeper self-awareness and a clearer sense of the types of people and environments that align with your values. By learning to separate your sense of self-worth from the opinions of others, you can develop a stronger, more authentic identity. This self-confidence is critical not only in personal relationships, but also in professional endeavors. 4.6. Rejection in professional settings. A path to networking. Rejection is a common occurrence in the professional world, whether it's a job interview, a pitch for business, or a rejection from a networking group. However, professional rejection offers an opportunity to refine your networking skills. In these situations, individuals who handle rejection will often find that their perseverance leads to new opportunities. For example, a job rejection can prompt an individual to follow up with the interviewer for feedback, which can open up networking channels. By approaching rejection with a positive, growth-oriented mindset, professionals can turn even negative experiences into stepping stones for future opportunities. The key is to maintain a professional attitude and to view rejection as a stepping stone toward success. 4.7. Conclusion. Using rejection to strengthen social skills. While rejection may initially feel discouraging, it is ultimately a powerful tool for improving social skills. By reflecting on how rejection influences communication, empathy, boundaries, and self-worth, individuals can develop a greater understanding of themselves and their relationships with others. The ability to process rejection in a positive way can transform it from a negative experience into an opportunity for growth and improvement. Rejection is an inevitable part of life, but with the right mindset, it can be harnessed as a tool for building stronger social skills. By learning from rejection, you can cultivate better communication, empathy, and resilience, ultimately leading to more meaningful and fulfilling relationships. Rejection as a tool for self-improvement and personal growth. Rejection, though painful, is an essential tool for self-improvement and personal growth. It pushes individuals to reflect on their behaviors, attitudes, and goals, fostering the development of new skills and perspectives. Far from being a setback, rejection can be a powerful motivator that forces people to confront their weaknesses, learn from mistakes, and ultimately become better versions of themselves. When faced with rejection, individuals often reassess their approach to life. This introspection leads to valuable self-awareness, helping them recognize areas in which they can improve. Rejection serves as a mirror, reflecting parts of oneself that may need attention or change. Whether it's in personal development, career aspirations, or relationships, rejection provides an opportunity to refine one's approach and grow stronger. 5.1. The power of reflection in rejection. Reflection is one of the most valuable tools for personal growth that rejection offers. When we experience rejection, we naturally seek to understand why it happened. This reflection allows us to take an honest look at ourselves and our actions. It forces us to confront our flaws and consider how we can improve. By taking time to reflect on our experiences, we gain clarity about our strengths and weaknesses. For instance, after a failed job application, an individual might review their resume, their interview performance, and the skills they highlighted. This process of reflection helps them identify areas for improvement. Maybe they need to acquire new skills or refine how they present themselves. Similarly, rejection in personal relationships might prompt someone to consider how they communicate or whether they are setting healthy boundaries. Through this reflective process, rejection becomes a stepping stone toward improvement. Instead of dwelling on disappointment, individuals can use rejection as a learning experience that propels them forward. 5.2. Building perseverance and grit. One of the most important aspects of personal growth fostered by rejection is the development of perseverance and grit. Grit is the passion and determination to keep pursuing long-term goals, despite challenges and setbacks. Rejection tests an individual's ability to persist in the face of adversity, and overcoming it strengthens one's resolve. When rejection occurs, it's easy to feel discouraged and defeated. However, those who are able to push through rejection and continue working toward their goals often develop a sense of inner strength. They learn that setbacks are not permanent and that success is often achieved after multiple attempts. In fact, many of the most successful individuals in history have faced rejection time and time again before reaching their goals. Their perseverance and grit ultimately led them to triumph. For example, an artist who faces repeated rejection from galleries may feel disheartened, but learns to refine their technique and stay committed to their craft. Over time, their resilience builds and their dedication pays off. Rejection, in this case, fuels their perseverance, driving them to improve and achieve success. 5.3. Improving time management and focus. Rejection can also be an opportunity to improve time management and focus. When faced with rejection, individuals may recognize that their current approach or strategy isn't working. This realization can prompt a reevaluation of priorities, goals, and how time is being spent. For example, after being rejected for a promotion, an individual might assess their time management skills and identify areas where they can be more efficient. They may decide to focus more on skill development or adopt a more organized approach to their tasks. This shift in focus often leads to greater productivity and better results in the future. Rejection encourages people to be more strategic and intentional with their time. It prompts them to set clearer goals, prioritize effectively, and work smarter rather than harder. As a result, individuals who learn from rejection often become more organized and focused in their endeavors. 5.5. Developing a stronger sense of identity. Rejection can also serve as a catalyst for developing a stronger sense of identity. When people face rejection, they often question their worth and what they truly want in life. This introspection can lead to greater self-discovery and a clearer understanding of one's values, goals, and passions. By experiencing rejection, individuals are forced to reassess their priorities and align their actions with their true self. For example, someone who faces rejection in their career might realize that they are pursuing the wrong path or that their passions lie elsewhere. This realization can lead to a more authentic and fulfilling life, where individuals are aligned with their true purpose. Rejection encourages people to be more honest with themselves and others. It helps them identify what they truly want and what they are willing to accept, fostering a greater sense of self-confidence and clarity. 5.6. Cultivating gratitude and perspective. Lastly, rejection can foster gratitude and perspective. While it's natural to feel disappointed when things don't go as planned, rejection often helps individuals appreciate what they have and put their experiences in perspective. When a person is rejected, they may feel momentarily deflated, but over time, they may come to see that rejection is not the end of the road. It's simply a part of the journey towards something greater. Rejection can prompt individuals to reflect on the opportunities they have, the support they receive from others, and the progress they've made. This shift in perspective helps them develop a sense of gratitude for their experiences, even the challenging ones. They begin to see rejection not as a defeat, but as a lesson that shapes their personal growth. 5.7. Conclusion. Embracing rejection as a tool for growth. Rejection is an inevitable part of life, but when viewed through the lens of personal growth, it becomes an invaluable tool for self-improvement. Whether it's through reflection, perseverance, emotional maturity, or a stronger sense of identity, rejection offers opportunities for transformation. Instead of letting rejection define them negatively, individuals who embrace it as part of their journey can harness its power to become stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with their true selves. By viewing rejection as a tool for personal growth, individuals can turn setbacks into stepping stones toward greater success and fulfillment. The ability to learn from rejection and move forward with a positive mindset is a key factor in achieving lasting personal development. Rejection in the context of success. Embracing failure as a stepping stone. Rejection and failure are often intertwined, yet both are critical components of success. Contrary to popular belief, success is rarely a straight path. It is often marked by setbacks, challenges, and most importantly, rejection. Rather than seeing rejection as failure, individuals can learn to view it as a necessary part of their journey toward success. Failure and rejection offer feedback that helps refine goals, sharpen skills, and improve future efforts. Understanding how rejection fits into the broader context of success can change the way people perceive their experiences. Instead of viewing rejection as defeat, They can see it as an opportunity for growth and improvement. 6.1. The role of rejection in shaping success stories. Many successful people experience significant rejection before achieving their goals. These stories often emphasize perseverance and the importance of learning from adversity. For example, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, was rejected by multiple publishers before finally finding success. Instead of quitting, she used rejection as motivation to keep refining her story. Similarly, Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, yet this rejection led to a period of growth and innovation. These examples demonstrate that rejection is often just a stepping stone toward success. Rejection may be painful, but it can serve as a catalyst for personal and professional growth. 6.2. Failure as a source of motivation and innovation. Rejection pushes individuals to rethink their strategies and innovate. Failure can serve as a motivator, prompting creative solutions and new approaches. In business, many entrepreneurs have failed before succeeding. Each rejection forces them to refine their ideas, sharpen their skills, and discover more efficient ways to reach their goals. Without rejection, they may not have been able to innovate and improve. For instance, Thomas Edison faced numerous failures before inventing the light bulb. Each failure brought him closer to his goal, allowing him to refine his approach until he succeeded. Rejection fosters the innovation that leads to success. 6.3. The importance of persistence, learning from rejection. Persistence is essential for success, and rejection teaches individuals to persist despite setbacks. Each rejection tests one's ability to keep moving forward, and learning to stay resilient is key to long-term success. When individuals are rejected, they can use it as a motivation to continue striving toward their goals. For example, an aspiring musician who faces rejection from record labels may use the experience to improve their craft, hone their skills, and try again. Over time, their persistence increases their chances of success. 6.4. Rejection as feedback for improvement. Rather than viewing rejection as personal failure, individuals can see it as valuable feedback. Rejection helps people assess what went wrong and how they can improve. This feedback, whether from a job interview or personal relationship, provides insights that help individuals refine their strategies and approach. For example, if a job applicant is rejected after an interview, they can request feedback from the employer. This feedback helps the applicant recognize areas to improve, whether it's communication, qualifications, or preparation. Rejection provides an opportunity for self-improvement and growth. 6.5. Turning rejection into a learning experience. Instead of feeling defeated by rejection, individuals can turn it into a learning experience. Each rejection is an opportunity to refine skills, adjust strategies, and build resilience. Seeking feedback and adopting a growth mindset allows individuals to make adjustments and try again with a clearer understanding of what works. For instance, an artist who faces rejection from galleries may improve their technique, learn from the feedback, and eventually find the right opportunity. Rejection becomes a tool for learning, allowing individuals to grow stronger and more capable with each setback. 6.6. Building confidence through overcoming rejection. Overcoming rejection builds confidence. Each time someone faces rejection and continues to move forward, they prove to themselves that they can handle adversity. This boosts self-esteem and encourages a positive self-image. For example, a person rejected in their job search can build confidence by continuing to apply, learning from each experience, and improving their approach. Rejection teaches individuals that their value is not determined by others' opinions, and overcoming rejection fosters a sense of self-reliance and confidence. 6.7. Conclusion: rejection as a stepping stone to success. Rejection is a common part of life, but it should not be seen as a roadblock. Instead, it is an essential tool for growth and success. Rejection provides valuable feedback, motivates innovation, and strengthens persistence. By embracing rejection, individuals can refine their strategies, build their confidence, and ultimately achieve their goals. Many successful people faced rejection but continued to pursue their dreams. By learning from rejection, they grew stronger and more resilient, leading them to success. Rejection is not the end of the journey, but a necessary part of the process that can ultimately lead to greater achievements. How to use rejection to your advantage. Practical tips for embracing rejection. Rejection is an inevitable part of life, but it doesn't have to be a negative experience. By learning to embrace and use rejection to your advantage, you can turn setbacks into powerful opportunities for growth. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal development, rejection can serve as a stepping stone toward success. The key is in how you respond to it. Here are some practical tips on how to use rejection to your advantage and turn it into a tool for self-improvement. 7.1. Shift your perspective. See rejection as a challenge, not a defeat. The first step in using rejection to your advantage is changing how you view it. Instead of seeing rejection as a failure, try to reframe it as a challenge or an opportunity. Rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough. It simply means that your approach needs adjustment or that the timing wasn't right. By shifting your mindset, you can view rejection as a learning experience that can help you grow. When you stop taking rejection personally and instead focus on what you can learn from it, you'll be more likely to bounce back stronger. 7.2. Don't take it personally. Separate your self-worth from rejection. One of the biggest mistakes people make when faced with rejection is tying it to their self-worth. Rejection can sting, but it doesn't define who you are. It's important to remember that rejection is often about external factors, such as timing, competition, or circumstances, not about your value as a person. By maintaining a healthy sense of self-esteem, you can avoid falling into a cycle of self-doubt and negativity. Recognize that rejection is not a reflection of your abilities or worth. It's simply part of the process toward achieving your goals. 7.3. Analyze and learn from the rejection. Instead of focusing on the emotional aspects of rejection, take the opportunity to analyze the situation objectively. Ask yourself what you can learn from the experience. Did you miss an opportunity to showcase your strengths? Were there specific areas in your performance or presentation that could be improved? Feedback is invaluable, so whenever possible, ask for it. Whether it's from a potential employer, a romantic partner, or a friend, constructive criticism can help you identify areas for improvement and avoid making the same mistakes in the future. 7.4. Use rejection to refine your goals and approach. Rejection often signals that it's time to reevaluate your goals and strategies. If something isn't working, don't be afraid to pivot. Maybe you need to refine your approach, gain additional skills, or target different opportunities. Use rejection as a feedback loop to adjust your plans and keep moving forward. For instance, if you face rejection in a job application, take time to assess what aspects of your resume, interview skills, or qualifications might have been lacking. Use this information to improve and make adjustments for your next application. 7.5. Stay persistent. Keep pushing forward. One of the most powerful ways to use rejection to your advantage is through persistence. Rejection often tests your resilience, and how you respond to it is crucial. Instead of letting rejection derail your progress, use it as motivation to keep going. Remember, success rarely happens on the first try. The key is to keep pushing forward, refining your approach, and staying focused on your long-term goals. As you persist, you'll become more skilled, knowledgeable, and confident, increasing your chances of eventual success. July 6th. Build emotional resilience. Rejection can be emotionally challenging, but it's also an opportunity to build emotional resilience. Learning how to cope with setbacks in a healthy way is crucial for personal growth. Instead of letting rejection consume you, practice emotional regulation techniques such as mindfulness, journaling, or talking to a trusted friend. Building resilience helps you bounce back from rejection more quickly and with greater strength. By learning to manage your emotions effectively, you'll become better equipped to handle future challenges with a positive outlook.